Bernard here on behalf of MovieGameNostalgia.com. Hope you're okay. This is just a little movie review on a new naval war film. Well, it's a war film, but it's set at sea, and it's called Greyhound. Please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push that notification button so you know when these little vlogs are coming out, and make sure your notifications are set to public, otherwise you won't hear anything at all. Not just me, anybody else either. So a lot of people forget that, I think, because I think when you first sign up, this is already set to private, so make sure your notifications are set to public. Right, Greyhound, we have here Mr. Tom Hanks. Last time I saw him was in the Neighbourhood film, wasn't it? Yeah, I've not seen him since then. I don't think in any films. I may have done. Released digitally on the 10th of July, so as and when you're watching this, you should be able to download it from your subscription services, etc. With no release date yet on retail or even to the cinema. You never know, I might have a cinema release this, obviously with the cinemas opening quite soon. It's PG-13, 91 minutes, which doesn't seem a lot, does it, for a sort of battle war film sort of thing. Yeah, it's not long at all when you take out 10 minutes for credits, etc. Directed by Aaron Schneider, and of course Tom Hanks also did the screenplay for this, so he actually stars in it and does the screen. It is his sort of vehicle as well. I mean, it's obviously Stephen Graham's in it as well, who's obviously well known here in the UK, and obviously he's getting a bit better known outside of the UK as well. But it does all revolve around Tom Hanks, this film, to be honest with you. And it's based on the 1955 novel The Good Shepherd by C.S. Forester, which is obviously, you probably know that, certainly in the USA and outside of the UK, perhaps not as well known here in the UK. Yeah, it's about a US Navy commander, played by Tom Hanks, of course, on his first assignment in command of a multinational escort group defending a merchant ship convoy across the Atlantic. It takes place just months after the US finally joined the war effort. It also stars World War II, of course. Oh, yeah, it took a bit of time for the first one as well, didn't it, from memory. Also stars Stephen Graham, Rob Morgan and Elizabeth Shue, although Elizabeth Shue's not in it too much, to be honest with you. Is it any good? Yeah, well, Rotten Tomatoes, 80% positivity, which is pretty good, isn't it? That's based on 153 reviews of 123 fresh and 30 rotten. So, yeah, there are some people who don't like it. Audience score 79%, so that's quite good. That's based on about 540. These are all as I'm recording this. Obviously, if you look at those sites now, they may have changed since obviously depending when I did this to when you look on the sites. The Metascore rating, that's the critics rating on Metascore, 63% based on 35 reviews. It does score as low as 38% and does go up to 75%, so quite mixed. Some of the comments on Metascore from the critics who've reviewed it: a ruthless war play, serviceable, but that's not saying much, so some negativity here. Lacking, safe distance from getting emotionally involved. Yeah. Exciting enough to watch, but not enough to love. Well, that's a bit cruel, isn't it? Taut action thriller. Well, there's a bit of positivity. Lived in, authentic, and it works. So there you go. They're the sort of general comments from the sort of lower ones to the higher ones in order there, I think, wasn't it? Internet Movie Database, Joe Public, you and me, the users, 7.1 out of 10, so quite healthy based on over 13,000 reviews. So that's quite a lot of reviews. Some of the positives: deja vu for a 92-year-old destroyer officer. So he was there, he did it, and obviously he appreciated the realness of it, how close it was to the real thing. Intense, entertaining without overdoing it. Short and sweet, yeah, that's getting back to the time level, 91 minutes. Very entertaining, gripping and poignant. But for every positive, there's a negative. Some of the negatives, something missing. Yeah, dull thud, missed potential, plot was just meh, zero character development, torpedoes but no tension, monotonous and boring. So very, very mixed. I mean, looking at some of the things, I mean, some of the comments lacking. Yeah, I mean, there is something missing in this. I don't know really what it is. It just The CGI it's nice to see a modern day naval film, and some of the CGI effects of the out at sea are quite impressive and atmospheric. I did enjoy it, the darkness of it, etc. And obviously the battleship grey look of the ships and the U-boats, etc. I did enjoy that, but it just yeah, I can understand the lacking, because there's just something sort of missing from it a little, from the basic old-fashioned naval war films that obviously that we know and love and probably still watch now. Safe distance from getting emotionally involved. Yeah, I think that's a little play on the fact in an hour and a half you don't really get to know the characters. I mean, the only one you really know is Tom Hanks, and even that is dubious as to what sort of guy he is and whether he's likable, or whether you want him to survive the trip. I mean, you know, this sort of thing. So yeah, I can see the emotion, safe distance from getting emotionally involved. Yeah, he keeps the emotions to the very minimum. Even the couple of scenes that are quite sad, it sort of does lack a little bit. So we're getting back to the lacking there, aren't we? Excited enough, yeah. I mean, I say, someone commented about the torpedo thing, not very exciting, but I thought that was okay. Sort of dodging torpedoes, I think that was very good. Lived in and authentic, and it works. So I mean, yeah, if an old guy who was there said it was authentic, which he did, obviously this 92-year-old destroyer officer, then I'll go with that, because as I say, it does look authentic. It does look good. It just does lack something, but it does look right. A dull thud. I mean, that's just I don't know, dull thud. I think that's just on the same basis of it just lacking that little bit. Plot was just meh. I mean, it's a convoy. I mean, I don't know what more they could do with the plot. I mean, they could have had a murder on the ship and have a Hercule Poirot character looking into the murder on the ship. But at the end of the day, it's boat sort of convoy. It's a destroyer protecting boats and going for the U-boats who were trying to sink the ship. So I mean, I don't know what that means by a plot was just meh. I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. Yeah, it had a $50 million budget, which was quite high considering, because it doesn't sort of have most of it. It's very very wordy, very Tom Hanksy. But as I say, I did love the CGI. I thought the CGI was really well done, and it was delayed for 12 months. And obviously you've got the COVID thing, but it was due for release last year actually, so it has been delayed, and I don't particularly know the reasons for that. Perhaps we weren't happy with the final thing. In all fairness, I mean, newer movie watching, my lad was watching, say I had a young lad, a teenage lad or something who's not used to the old classics, you know, the old classic naval war films, Sink the Bismarck and some of the more modern Das Boot, stuff like that. Then I can see the newer viewers being a bit more entertained than us old salts who've seen it all before and got the tension of these things over the years, because obviously, it doesn't quite grab you atmospherically as perhaps some of those old classics do that we can watch now and enjoy. So sort of for a modern age, it's more for a modern age. I mean, Tom Hanks does his usual Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is Tom Hanks for me. Most of the things he does, he just plays himself in that role. So if you like Tom Hanks as a person, you probably like his character. As I say, we don't get to know too much about him. It's a bit of private stuff at the start with Elizabeth Shue, who plays his wife, but you don't get to know too much of his background. So you sort of treat Tom Hanks as Tom Hanks, and you want him to do okay because he's Tom Hanks, and that's all there is to it. Some of the scenes are great. I mean, some good action sequences, but yeah, there is a lot of technical babble. You know, obviously instructions to the gunnery officers and the obviously the radar people and the various people. So there is a lot of tech gabble in it, but you'd expect that anyway. But obviously, I think a lot of people put off because obviously it's such a short film, and there's perhaps too much of that in some people's opinion. So there was that 92-year-old destroyer guy saying, destroyer officer said it was quite authentic, and I did see another couple of reviews from people who served who said it actually has been, you know, it is authentic. So it's mainly positive from the people who've been through it, and so it has that sort of feel to it. So not too much poetic license used and bravo, you know, bravado, etc. And it does drive. I think it does crank up the tension quite quickly. I mean, quite well. It does. The last third of the movie, particularly, obviously, when it's getting to the climaxes, it does crank it up quite well, and it's quite enjoyable. And you do get the nice uplifting Hollywood style ending, but you know, with the the salutes and the goosebumps, etc., and the cheers and blah blah blah. But there's nothing wrong with that. I can go with that. There's nothing wrong with the good old fashioned uplifting, superhero, we're the hero sort of thing, is it? Which is typical Hollywood. But hey, there's nothing too wrong with that. So yeah, the Greyhound. Yeah, it's interesting, is it? Internet. I mean, 7 out of 10 on the Joe user. I mean, I was looking at my rating. I'm going to give the Greyhound a 6.5 out of 10 because I think it is good, very watchable. It's better than watchable, but obviously just missing something. As I say, it does lack something. But I did enjoy the CGI aspects of it. As I say, I've not seen many modern naval warfare films, and that's pretty good. But it is quite low down, when compared to some of the older classics, if you like, some of the British and American older films as well. So 6.5. The poster, I mean, the poster's quite, if you like Tom Hanks, it's okay, isn't it? But it's not overly exciting posters. It's not something I'd naturally have on the wall. But I'll give the poster a 5 out of 10 as well. So not great. I don't. It's not the greatest poster, but I think perhaps more an actiony one, more rather than Tom Hanks on it like that. I wouldn't have minded one with the destroyer and a U-boat or something like that, which would have been great. But there you go. Tom Hanks' screenplay. Tom Hanks is mainly revolves around him, so that's fair enough. I can't really argue, can we? So 6.5 for the film, 5 for the poster. So I'm being mean, aren't I? But yeah, I mean, if you're a Tom Hanks fan, probably score it a bit higher, but I'm not overly bothered about having him on my wall, to be honest with you. I want to see something. I want to see a nice U-boat or U571. That was a good poster. You ever saw that poster? Something like that. I enjoyed that. Or I wouldn't know, the poster for Sink the Bismarck, the old style posters. Some great posters, authentic posters. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please check all my links, and obviously Movie Game Nostalgia for old rare DVDs and movie posters, of course, from the 90s and 2000s. I've got some great posters on there, some board games as well. So if you find time to have a look on moviegamenostalgia.com, much appreciated. And if you're more into Facebook, just follow me on. If you type in Bernard Deneen, you can follow me on there. And obviously I don't put as much on Facebook as I do on Twitter, but obviously I put a lot of stuff on there. So, and if you're after some followers on Facebook and you want to get your followers up, then just do that and I'll follow you back. That's no problem. Anyway, thanks for that. That's Greyhound, as I say, with no release date yet, but as I'm recording this and as you're watching this, it should be available for you to download digitally at the moment from the various subscription sites. Anyway, thanks for watching. What we're going to do with the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your family, and more importantly, let's all look after each other until you join me again, hopefully, for another information vlog or a movie review or even a TV drama review. Hopefully I'll see you very, very soon for one of those. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is Bernard saying goodbye for now. Bye-bye.